Hey, what's going on, guys? It is October 25th. Today they just passed out the ruling that Brittany Griner's appeal was turned down. Uh, 9 years. Now, there was a possibility that she was going to get traded. There was supposed to be a trade in place for the war criminal. I want to say he's called like I want to call him the Temple of Doom. That's not it. I know that's not it. But definitely uh, the guy they were going to trade for him, he was in arms sales, death dealer, something ridiculous like that. It's some kind of amazing. I'll look it up. Some kind of amazing super villain name. And it's a shame. Brittany Griner is just plays for the Mercury. She doesn't have any 2022 stats. I feel like they just won the championship, so but she is her appeal's been rejected. And honestly, I just don't see aside from them being a deal happening anytime soon. I just don't see it happening, man. I mean, she's going down like they did she's getting sent to a penal colony now. So her appeal's been rejected, and honestly, you don't even really understand the weight of this, okay? So it's Russia, right? They got like 3 different courts. The Supreme Court is the final one. It's weed. You had it. That's the end. We don't like America because the reality of it is Ukraine. Yes, Ukraine and Russia are in a war, but they're using American weapons. Basically, we are fighting Russia through the Ukrainian conflict. It's no surprise that Ukraine is kicking Russia's ass. We're literally sending them fucking guns every day. So I find that to be hilarious because everybody's like, don't get me wrong, it's only Ukrainians down there fighting. I have to assume that we sent somebody over there to show them how to use the weapons. But on some real shit, like, come on, man. They are giving them the business. Give it up for Ukraine, man. Give it up for Ukraine. I'm so happy for them. I'm happy they're not sending our boys over there. I'm upset that there's a lot of money getting spent while our children struggle and community struggle. But that's another conversation. That's not what we're talking about right now. Right now, we're talking about Brittany Griner. And because of that connection with the U.S. and Ukraine, the fact that her appeal wasn't received well, the fact that her appeal was rejected was no surprise. It was no surprise. When they were supposed to trade her for this, I mean, it's so funny. When they're supposed to trade her for this guy, I was like, well, don't do that. That's a bit much. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have a fucking warlord out here and you just let a basketball player out. Now, I take it back completely and wholeheartedly. I feel fucking awful because there's no telling. She's going to prison. They just rejected her appeal. She's going to prison. All this little small time lockup shit she was doing in regular Russia, in downtown Russia, no, she going outside the perimeter Russia, nigga. Like, and listen, there's no telling what's going to happen with Brittany, man. I feel bad that I feel bad that that's going to happen, but now that I'm looking at it, you know, it's not like Brittany Griner comes out in fucking 9 years. Like, it's Russia. I feel like you're doing all that shit to the dough. Like, there's not a world where you go to Russia. There's not a world where you go to Russia and you just do a little bit at a time. You do it all the time. You do it all the time. You're not going to Russia and doing a little bit at a time. You're doing all the time. And I'm telling you, man, that's real. That does not work. That is so awesome. Sorry. But yeah, that's one of those things where I'm like, she's gonna come back and her fucking career's gonna be over. Her career's probably over now. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine coming back from that shit and just going back to playing basketball? Like, that's how you get out of your head? Fuck that. No, 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 no. So now hold on. Now let me get this straight here. Russian arms dealers offered. The Russian arms dealer was offered. So I didn't realize that. And his name was the Merchant of Death. Thank you very much. But that was one of those things where they didn't want to trade that dude either. I don't know why that didn't happen, but so they didn't trade Victor Boot. And they didn't trade Victor Boot. It's an awful trade. I felt like it was an awful trade. I felt so bad saying it. But now I'm realizing this woman's going to be in fucking prison, man. And she's going to be forgotten. I'll give it 2 years. And I hate that, man. I really do hate that for her. Because first off, with the most obvious answer, nigga, for some weed, you know what I'm saying? So for the most obvious answer, you get that. But what? 9 years? And she was trying to leave, like they were talking that shit. And I feel like she was trying to get out of Russia before this shit popped off. Because she's, they're 8 months into war right now. She got caught in February. Do the math, man. It's October 25th. That's right on time. That's right on time. So I just don't know what to say about that, man. I feel like I want to say like they started dropping bombs like the day before, the day after she got locked up or some shit like that. It was that close to each other. Such a fantastic athlete. I'm sure she's a fantastic wife. I know her significant other is going to be pining away and wondering, what happened to her wife and all this other shit. But Jesse Jackson don't go get people anymore, y'all. Jesse doesn't go and get people anymore. That's not a thing. I don't even know who goes and gets people. Who the fuck can we go? Who can we send? Because America won't go get him. And they don't fuck with other blacks. It's Russia. The Black Russian is a drink. I'm sure there's some fucking story about it somewhere, but the Black Russian is a drink. Don't get that shit twisted. No one, fucking Jesse doesn't stand a chance going over there, even if he did with his old rhyming ass motherfucker. So I don't know what to say, but I feel bad for him, man. There's no coming back from this. There's no coming back from this. It's one of those things that sits with you forever. She was defined as an athlete. That's her definition. That's her character. That's who she is. I mean, she's fucking 6'8" or whatever the fuck, and she can dunk. I'm trying not to, she's a big bitch, man. What else she gonna do? I'm sure she's great at math, but all that shit is fucked up. It's hard getting locked up in America and not coming out with some fucking problems. Now you getting locked up in Russia? Get the fuck out of my face, man. It's not gonna be. It's just not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. So, it's a shame. I really wish her the best. Unfortunately, the Russia doesn't have an appellate court. They have 3 levels of courts. The Supreme Court mostly siding with the government on a regular basis. It just doesn't sound like a good look. She's got She's got a boatload of trouble on her hands. She'll be getting moved to a penal farm or penal location.